Hi guys, welcome back to my series Unresolved Mysteries. This is part 2 for the quadruple unalivings in Keddie, California. So, the scene was extremely gruesome. Sue's body had been found under a blanket, lying on her side near the living room sofa. She was nude from her waist down, and she had also been gagged with her own underwear that had been secured with a tape. She was poked, you guys know I can't say certain words, but she had been poked on her chest and her throat. The wound on her throat was so deep that it had passed through her larynx and nicked her spine. On the side of her head was also an imprint matching the butt of a pellet rifle. John had been beaten with a hammer and also poked multiple times, including his throat. Dana also had multiple injuries and had been manually. John and Dana both had blunt force trauma to their head that had been caused by one or more hammers. Autopsies determined that both Sue and John had been unalived due to the blunt force trauma and the pokings. As for Dana, he was unalived due to the... Tina wasn't found in the scene or the house, but her bed had drops of blood, which made the investigators think that she had been essayed by the attackers and kidnapped. There were also knife marks on the walls of the home, and there was a footprint, bloody footprint, in the yard. By now, the scene had already been contaminated by two people, which was Sheila and James, and the police, when they arrived, they didn't secure the scene properly. And as I had mentioned, it took them hours to realize that Tina was missing, even though Justin tried telling them many times. But regardless, the investigation begins, and the first people investigated are Sheila and the family she had stayed with overnight. Both Sheila and the family said they didn't hear anything like any commotion throughout the night, but they did see a green van parked at the Sharps' house around 9 p.m. Then they interviewed a few of the neighbors to see if anybody had heard or seen anything. And a couple who was staying at house number 16 said that around 1 a.m. they heard muffled screams that woke them up. They went outside to check and try to figure out where it was coming from, but they weren't able to. So they ended up going back into the house and went back to sleep. Mind you, the Sharps' house was number 28 and the couple's house was number 16, which of course made the investigators think the children that were upstairs must have woken up or heard something. So Rick, Greg, and Justin were all interviewed. Both Rick and Greg, who were also Sue's sons, said they didn't hear anything and they were asleep the entire night. Justin, on the other hand, gave conflicting stories. First, he said that he was also asleep with